Just when I thought last week's episode really gives out an idea how despicable men and women can be, especially if you're just playing around with your emotions just to feel good, this episode gives me a more of an explicit image of how things can be or possibly are when it comes to certain women. I'm not trying to be like a total go like what the hell are you really trying to have, what the hell are you trying to say about certain females these days? This episode gave me some kind of perspective of how maybe certain feelings tend to be not revealed in the end, So if anything else, let's just get this started and so forth, alright? We have to it that we see the scene at the beginning, of course, and freaking like, Akane Sensei had her, time with, freaking like, Kanai Sensei. So I'm thinking in my mind, Kanai, seriously, man, you let your own lust devour you in a certain way, and, wow. Just freaking wow. Eventually, after the opening, we have to it that Hanabi is actually arguing with her younger self, and this is something that tends to happen many ways to one, I mean, we tend to have certain conflicts of what is true or not, or what we try to admit, and even though, like, the younger version of herself calls her a brat, which include, like, the action she's doing right now is really stupid. You better knock it off right now and try not to make any crazy fuss, otherwise you may not be able to come back. And sometimes we all tend to have those kinds of conflicting moments, and we have to it that Hanabi asks Mugi, oh, let's go out together, And she decides to talk to Echan and tells her everything about going out with Mugi and so forth. End up having a moment time in the library when there was a teacher's meeting. Even Echan ends up going after her with some kind of thing, and she ends up telling Hanabi what to do, You're very attractive, just lock up your own... You'll break if you don't keep your feelings closed off or something. Just hide it for a moment. Do it like how let me see, Akane Sensei did it, And it seems like to me, Echan seems to be planning something. Although I don't really know what, but one thing for sure is like Hanabi does feel guilty about using Echan, and Echan was using Hanabi for her own desires, and we've seen this in the series, And I'm thinking in my mind, damn, dude. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff like that, but damn, dude. It's a little out of control. We have to it that Hanabi decides to go out with like one of Akane's like how am I supposed to say it? Toys, if I like to say so, because we all know Akane Sensei, and for Pete's sakes, this episode does show a lot of what Hanabi is doing. So I'm thinking in my mind, are you really serious about this? And Hanabi wants to beat Akane and so forth. He almost ran off, but she says, hey, let's take it slow. Kisses him, and a lot of things been happening here and there, like going karaoke and trying to like get the idea and so forth, and everything else all compared all together. When I looked in this episode right here of Hanabi's actions, it bothered me, but at the same time, it might be telling somewhat of a truth, if anything else. Call me freaking stupid if I did not see something real with my own eyes, but if that is really the case, how life is, and when it comes to romance or someone messing with your feelings and using it for your own personal desires or objectives, then what the hell? Why are you even doing this? That kind of thing, and so forth. And we have to it that there is a scene with like Hanabi and Kanai Sensei, although like this was back in the younger days when Hanabi's father left and he didn't want her or something. That was really messed up. Although when it comes to like romance and so forth, it seems like Hanabi had a dream about that, or maybe it really did happen where our romance is not going to blossom. We have to it that Echan tells Mugi you should be careful, she's really popular with the girls. You better not let your guard down, Although Mugi's thinking in his mind, we would decide to go out for real and so forth. It seems like Mugi does not really know much about it. And there was a scene between like Mugi and that other girl, Noriko. And by the time, after much going on, she says she doesn't want you and so forth. And he decided to go on a date with her the next day, which is pretty ridiculous. So I'm thinking in my mind, I really don't understand how these relationships work, I mean, there are times where certain things tend to happen, and now this, and this episode gave me an explicit idea how a woman can play with the boy's feelings or something, or a man's feelings in a certain way, and use them for their own personal desires. And hell, I've read a lot about that and try to understand relationships. But for me, I never gave out much thought. As long as they're happy and they're not trying to make each other miserable or something, then that's about it. But when I looked at this episode, like I said, I thought last week's episode gave me an idea how despicable men and women can be, and that can be somewhat factual. And by looking at this episode, just like going out with one guy and just locking away who you really are and so forth and etc., it could be very ugly, and that is just shown a lot. I'm not trying to be sexist here, if anything, and I apologize if I sound like it, but just by looking at this episode right here, it seems to me how messed up one could just use each other and just how much, I don't know. It's just screwed up, Although with a lot of things going on right now with Hanabi going out with Mugi and then just kissing another guy, going out with him, cheating on him, if anything, I'm thinking in my mind, dang, what are you trying to do, girl? You're making me want to cringe right now, and I won't deny it. I'm thinking in my mind, what are you doing, girl? That's the truth. A lot of people tend to tell me that this series is really gonna get you angry. And to be honest with you, it's already starting on that. It already started. Maybe in this episode, or it should have happened many couple episodes ago. But if it's really telling somewhat of a truth of how it plays out, how this plays out in life, especially if one man is heads over heels on one girl, damn, dude. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it. I don't know what else I could think about right now, but I'll see you guys in my next video. So it might be a little bit late. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat right now because I'm hungry. So if anything else, I'm out for Zetto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye. 2-2-2.